Today we're going to be following the career of the worst wide receiver ever. To do that, we had to create the worst wide receiver ever, introducing Brandon Cunningham, one of the worst players. To do that, we had to create the worst wide receiver ever, introducing Brandon Cunningham, 6-foot wide receiver. To do that, we had to create the worst wide receiver ever, introducing Brandon Cunningham, the 6-foot tall, 195-pound wide receiver who is lacking in a lot of things, especially athleticism. We will show you right now exactly where all of these ratings came from. We got the speed from Brandon Smith, the strength from Covey, the agility from Brandon Smith, the acceleration from Jermaine Jackson, the awareness from Riley Webb, the break tackle from Jacob Harris, the trucking from Tutu Atwell, the change of direction from Chris Lacey, the ball carrier vision from Jacob Harris, the stiff arm from Cavante Turpin, the spin move from Jacob Harris, the juke move from Jacob Harris, the carrying from Devin Tompkins, the catching from Baselia, the short route from Virgil, the medium route from Cunningham, the deep route from Cunningham, the catching traffic from Griffin, the spec from Bakelia. I said it both ways because you can't get it wrong. I can't get it wrong. The release from Andre, the jumping from Webster, the run block from Cunningham, the kick return from Mike Williams, the stamina from Michael Wilson, the injury from Justin Ross, and the toughness from Jamarcus Bradley. All right, what are we thinking? We thinking that he's just going to go basically undrafted like our running back one, or will he actually go decently high because it's a wide receiver? I'm thinking high around 30, maybe? Unfortunately, we have a pretty high draft pick again. The best way for this would be is if we actually had like a bad draft pick. I just kind of start on the teams that I think, if we're doing best running back, I'm going to go to the team that, I guess the Eagles or the Ravens, if you consider them to have the best running backs. If I think, the Patriots have arguably the worst wide receiver room, that's the team I'm starting on. But maybe I should just start on the team that's projected to win it all so then I can skip ahead a little easier. Because, this is a bit slow, and unfortunately you can't really see, when someone goes if you skip to the end. I wish it would say skip to the end of the round instead of next round. I think that'd be perfect. That'd be even better. Because then you could see who is drafted, and then if if your plan is to go to the next round, you just advance one game, pick. Easy clap. Oh, the Steelers! I was just thinking, too. I was like, it'd be kind of cool if you went to, A, team that's a little different, and B, a team that, like the Steelers. I was thinking maybe the Bills would be cool. But the Steelers, I actually like that. But he actually ended up as a first rounder. Fair enough. Look at that wide receiver right there. The rest of their draft actually wasn't the best. Makuba's a really good pick, though, in game. But Brandon Cunningham, the X-Factor wide receiver. Interesting things I'm seeing here. Wide receiver speed. Don't know if it's going to be that big of a problem. We've seen a CeeDee Lamb be like 80 speed and put up like 1,600 yards, I think it was. So I'm hoping that it doesn't slow him down as much as it definitely did the running back sim. But we'll have to see. We'll find out right now. All right, this is what the team looks like for the first year of Cunningham's career. He's only a 46 overall, but once again, an X factor. Didn't change the quarterback out. They still have Justin Fields. Of course, Pickens, the number one. I think the argument can be easily made to just keep him at number one, Cunningham at two, and then as the overalls change, maybe he steals the number one spot. The team definitely has more work to, go, but we have also been on teams that are worse than this, so I'm not really sure about the scheme, though, I will say. I know the wide receiver one usually does pretty well with the Pittsburgh Steelers scheme. Not sure about anyone else, though, so this could be tough. 6 and 11, but of course, Cunningham, still good chance to develop nicely. Fields was really bad, though. You look at Cunningham versus Pickens, and their numbers are pretty equal, which is saying a lot, because Pickens is much higher of an overall. Don't know by how much right now. 58 overall for Cunningham, starting off as a 46. So about 12 overalls have been jumped. Acceleration, I honestly can't remember. The running back, he went up 2 excel in his first year and then never again his entire career. But we're hoping we can get some of those offensive off-season kind of scenarios, maybe get some speed in there. He is a personality type leader, so maybe we have a chance some speed there. What are they developing him as? A deep threat. Oof, playmaker. There's way too many upgrades though to manually do it. It's tough. Playmaker is the way to go, but at the end of the day, you do Playmaker a bunch of times, it's going to go right back to deep threat. Oh, damn, this team, they goofed it. Now, they did end up getting Hickman, who's a really good wide receiver, but they let George Pickens walk. That is unbelievable. Cunningham is going to be the number one now because of that. Don't care. Do not care. This team also could use a new scheme. Not sure which team, But even though Fields isn't a very good QB, he's still way better than 17 to 23 for touchdown to pick ratio. Pretty much any NFL starter these days is. So we'll probably have to change it to something. I'm not really sure who, though. Team does a little bit better at 8-9. I ended up going with the Packers scheme. I think they're, they got a solid running back. They got, a committee of wide receivers. Williams still killed it. Where the hell was Cunningham? They adjusted the roster and benched him on me. Nice. Lovely. And it's weird, though, because, Gadsden has the same numbers, if not better, than Freiermuth. I don't know what they just did, but they just sold the season on us from Cunningham, which is fantastic. I think the best way to go about this is just drop his age by 1. Let's just pretend that this never happened. How about that? They actually had a decent draft, but still no quarterback. They got themselves a pretty high overall guard. They got themselves a pretty high overall middle linebacker and corner. I think there was even one more player in there. I don't know what his dev was. It might have been the safety. But, not a bad draft, just the team is falling apart. Ooh, 3-14. I mean, we talked about it, that we felt like this team is not the best. Justin Fields, he's literally throwing more picks and interceptions every single season. Cunningham, though, yes, you could say, we put him in a good position, but also he did have the most yards per catch of, the eligible guys. 9 touchdowns, 885 yards for that low of an overall is pretty good. With a season like that, though, look at how high of an overall he climbs to. Of course, ironically enough, his playmaker is his lowest attribute, too. So, I mean, if we had playmaker maxing out here, it would be insane, but not really much you can do about that because playmaker's just kind of all over the place. Athletic ratings, it's going to be pretty tough unless you manually do it. Manually upgrading a player this low of an overall because he would have so many upgrade points would probably add an extra hour or two to the video. That's great. That's how crazy slow it is. I wish you could just force focus who you want, not forward focus, who you want, what archetype you want them to focus on. But fortunately, that's just not the way it is. And it's just whatever the highest is. They don't care. Pick 1 overall. They finally go quarterback Evan Overton. Pretty cool name, actually. Let's take a look at what his dev is. Gotta be a superstar, right? Oh my God, they took star dev 1 overall. You can land that in the 3rd round. Oh, well, it's better than what they were doing, though. They at least actually have a future here. Updated look at the team. Got the new QB, Cunningham at number 1 as an 80 overall already. And then the defense, that legendary edge is gone. I can't lie. Legendary might be pushing a little bit, but very, very, very good. 4-13. Nothing seems to change even with a brand new QB. Still running that Packers scheme unless they change the OCs. The interception totals are so high, though. Cunningham is the true number 1, though. 1,300 yards, 6 touchdowns. Just need that speed up there, Just a little bit of speed. Short route is terrible, by the way. That deep threat is just cooking him. 59 short route is diabolical. And just like they did with Pickens, Cunningham's gone. I do not know where he went. Oops, wrong thing. Cunningham. What overall even is he? He's got to be pretty high, but not that high, huh? Did he even get signed? Wow, there's a lot of wide receivers. He is a Titan. Ugh, I don't know about that. 85 overall. Once again, that athleticism is terrible, but okay. 24 years old on a new team. First draft watching the Titans. It's actually not a bad one. Wait, hold up. This Titans team's actually kind of goated. Hold on a minute. Wait, this is a really good team. Yo, let Cunningham cook. I've mentioned it before, last episode, or last, installment of this series, if you will. I mentioned, sometimes you move the players around just to make the video a little more interesting. Didn't do it this time. Genuinely, just he left. He joined the Titans, and I was like, oh, the Titans? I don't know about that. But no, this team's good. Even Highsmith's here. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what that contract was like, but whatever it was totally worth it. Take a look at what that contract is, because, yeah, this is the team to be right now. 3-year deal, okay. I mean, hopefully they re-sign him if they keep all of this intact. You got Jahmyr Gibbs as well. This is a really good, young, up-and-coming team. Wow. How do they have all these youthful players, though? They're like stealing everyone's players. They got the Titans at 9-8, are in the playoffs. Gibbs, the number 1 running back in the league. Campbell had a really good season. Obviously, we know Gibbs did. Cunningham, a lot of touchdowns. He was the number 2, but in the slot as the number 1. What a year. Could be one of the best, if not the actual best, AFC wide receiver recipient of the one. And really, not the best wide receiver, okay? I mean, I think that's still Pro Bowl. I think it's 4, maybe even top 5 for a Pro Bowl, which is awesome. But, I can't believe with 18 touchdowns, 1,100 yards, it wasn't enough to actually win the award. But either way, we got the Jets. 9-8 isn't great, but it's at least in the playoffs. Anything can happen. And unfortunately, that anything is going to be this team losing immediately. So anything can happen, and unfortunately it did, but not the good any. Wow, we actually lost to a team that threw 2 picks to 1 touchdown. Sweet. Cunningham, 59 yards. Claiborne was 10 times better. It's not even close, but we'll see. Claiborne seems like he's kind of exiting a rookie deal, rookie contract, so hopefully they can afford to keep him, because it'd be kind of disappointing that we just get here and then the team falls apart right away. Oh, damn, this team just took another Cunningham, but he's probably not going to be hidden. Oh, wow, they really messed that one up, huh? Oof. That really sucked. Yep, and they do lose the wide receiver, but Cunningham is a 90 overall, definitely can carry the team. Highsmith's still here. He's definitely regressing as well, but yeah, Cunningham, 90 overall, this young. He's definitely going to exceed the running back one for sure, and he already has in pure talent stats-wise. Young enough to maybe give Jerry Rice a run for his money, but he's going to need to continue these numbers at a crazy rate, so we'll see what happens. Oh, 8-9. Oh, 8-9 indeed. Cunningham, top 3, though. Top 3 touchdowns weren't as good as some of the other guys in the league, but really good anyways. 15 touchdowns, 1,600 yards. Yeah, I mean, it's good to see that speed doesn't, matter always. Of course, that short route still is horrible. It is kind of crazy to me, though, that deep route is like nothing short. I mean, I guess I kind of get it. At least it's something, differentiating. Bryce Young, the Rams quarterback, wins MVP. Okay. Best wide receiver? No. I forgot. We're A, not even on the Steelers, and B, that's not even the guy. But top 3, it's another Pro Bowl. It's definitely a good thing. Just not good enough to actually win the full-on award. Hey, we finally got a damn, off-season one for Cunningham. Let's see if we can get ourselves some speed. What are you focusing on in the off-season? Route running cat? No, I think, let's do one of these. I didn't actually pay attention. I should have checked, but he used to be leader, so hopefully that is the case. It went so quick, but it looked like it said, you definitely know me, so let's hope. And they went heavy on the O-line. I respect it. 3 70-plus overall offensive linemen on top of a new right end. All right, the team is definitely falling apart quite a bit. The offensive line's nothing like it used to be. The defense looks pretty bad. The only thing the Titans really got is the QB, Gibbs, and Cunningham, but Gibbs is obviously regressing because he's already reaching, kind of an older age, probably about 28, 29 by now. Obviously, Cunningham with that short route, he got an acceleration up, but no speed. Short route of 59. I mean, it's tough. It's tough. Another bad season. They got so much money. Start paying your players. I have it all on auto. Every single thing. Even the depth chart is on auto because, I want them to start who they think they should start, and then right before the season starts, I put Cunningham where he needs to be, which, to be fair, at this rate, they don't really need any help. They see who Cunningham is. He is the GOAT. Of course, short route's actually starting to develop a little bit. Not sure why. Might be something to do with deep threat being maxed out on the other ratings pretty much, and they're like, well, he's got to get something. But yeah, that could be, up there in the best wide receiver again. Josh Allen's a freaking Bengal. We see that our guy Cunningham's at 8. And yeah, I don't know what's going on with this Titans team, but they've let go of the quarterback. They let go of the wide receiver. I don't know what's going on, but I think... Oh, actually, we're not going to be able to see it because it's so early in the free agency. Yeah, Cunningham's on the move again. Wait, no, he should be on a team. Where is he? Wait, genuinely, where is he? Did nobody want him, or could nobody afford him? Huh. Yeah, he was just a straight-up free agent. You can see $700K for Brandon Cunningham, who's now on the Bears. What the hell is that? And I will say, the Bears do got some pretty good offensive players. That offensive line still sucks, though, but good running back, even though he's probably regressing really hard. Same with Odunze. Caleb Williams, though, 95 overall. Cunningham as a 93. Nico Collins is here as an 82 overall X-Factor. Defense, once upon a time, these corners were probably really good. Will Johnson's been on the team for a while now. He's like 28. So they got the Johnson & Johnson company. You gotta, that if that actually happens, they end up with Will Johnson, whatever. That's what their nickname's going to be. It's going to be so freaking cringe. But I don't see that being something they do. Bears trade down, grab a lineman, trade up again, maybe grab another lineman. Maybe that's the move. That's the play. Didn't change the scheme. The team ends up being 8-9. Judkins with some really good numbers, but Caleb Williams, even though he's a super high overall, I'm not going to see them. It's the Bears scheme usually for you, but Cunningham gets his, and that's really all I care about. A lot of touchdowns, a lot of yards. Let's see now that we're in the NFC if anything changes. Nakua definitely won that, but you could see Cunningham's at 6, so it's a little surprising to see numbers those good, not in the top 5. Cunningham, still pretty young. Looking all right with 81 touchdowns, 8,300 yards. Cunningham's off the Bears again, but ironically enough, he returns to the Titans with a legitimate contract. Ooh, sick-looking corner. We've been off the team a little bit, so let's take a look at the update. They just keep taking all the other teams' running backs. Cunningham is by far the best wide receiver on this team. Priester, he's not the youngest guy anymore. He's 25. He's slow, but he has developed a little bit. He was the normal dev guy that they took in the first round, so I suppose he's the number 2 on this team. Then we look at the defensive side of the ball, 84 overall for this team. I can't believe Nakobe Dean's still going strong, though, and then they got Sauce Gardner here. Corner's not a problem there, so I'm really surprised by them taking him. I guess is just a best available pick situation. Maybe they got some contracts coming up they don't want to pay, but yeah, he might end up retiring a Titan now. 10-7, the team's in the playoffs. Once you're in, anything can happen. Sherman, okay numbers. Judkins, I mean, just about 4 yards per carry. You can't really ask for much more in Sim, especially for someone under a 90 overall. Cunningham, definitely not his best numbers, but they're still good, obviously. He's over 1,000. He's in the double digits. We're number 86 now. Yeah, we don't talk about 2026, which is why we dropped that age by a year. Don't need to worry about that anymore, though. He will be he'll be definitely a starter every single time now. But yeah, 5 straight seasons of double-digit touchdowns. What is this? 6 straight, math is hard, of 1,000 yards a season. So, yeah, if he plays till 35, he's going to retire one of the top 3 probably. Let's see what the numbers look like in total. 9,500 yards with many years left to go. About 7, I think. So, I mean, if he keeps doing like what he's doing, you got Joe Burrow on the Steelers. Okay, that's interesting. Back in the AFC, so let's take a look. Best wide receiver puts him at number 9. Wow, I mean, once again, one of his worst years. But still, number 9 seems tough. Either way, can they win a playoff game? At least we're back in them. And they can't. They instantly lose, wasting no time whatsoever against the Bills. 17-14, a loss of 3. Like I said, I kind of felt like this, Cunningham would have been good on the Bills. 104 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had a great game here. Just, unfortunately, the rest of the team kind of let him down. $93 million for Cunningham. $93 overall. 29 years old. Short route is 83 now. He is definitely progressing. Still just have not really... I don't know why that trade, I thought it said never caught ball. I was like, that's diabolical. But yeah, very weird ratings, right? 99 juke move, 63 spin move, 76 break tackle, nothing for stiff arm or juke, or truck. Break tackle should basically be kind of a power move for the most part, right? In my opinion, sort of. I guess not. It doesn't need to be. If somebody grabs onto you, spin, you can spin out of a tackle, right? It's kind of a break tackle. But, yeah, this is what the defense looks like, 81 overall. It's not a great team. It really is not a great team. These sliders are kind of, halfway decent. About 130, 140 across the board, with the guy we're focusing on usually being about 150. Yeah, 5-12, no one's surprised. Coming back to the Titans, I guess he chased the bag a little bit, but yeah, it was never going to be a good decision for legacy. First season he's had in a while, I believe, as well, where... he hadn't had double-digit touchdowns. Yeah, this was his first year out of 5 years previous that he's back down to under 10. Still one of his better seasons when you look at, yards per catch, but still definitely lackluster for him. But he is almost about to be 30, so kind of expected at the same time. Let's go to the offseason. Still has been very rare to see those damn... off-season scenarios to get a chance at a speed or anything. We got an acceleration once. That's kind of it. Most of the time, it's either, media where, hey, how are you going to improve the roster, or a defender. And then when it is on offense, a lot of times it's, someone else. It's like a running back and a quarterback, or tackle and a whatever. Oh, hey, hold on a minute. Titans again with a bunch of money. It's sometimes just glitchy, dude. I can't really tell you. Yeah, I mean, look at this. I mean, what do I do? When you get into the older age, They just don't damn give it to you. It's just everyone but the guy I'm aiming for. Cunningham has regressed a little bit. He's now 30 years old, 92 overall. I still haven't seen one of these guys. Oh, he didn't regress. I know he did. Okay, I was about to say, I figured he did. I'm pretty sure it was 93. But yeah, no one yet at the 99 overall rate. Don't know if we'll ever see it, though. I'm trying to think, like, what position could you see? Probably none, right? Like, wide receiver and quarterback are probably the top two. So you probably won't see that. 79 overall for this Titans team, and you probably won't see a playoff win here either. 4-13, there's nothing that really changed with this team, but Cunningham is in the top 3 for yards. Sherman, his best season yet, it seems. Judkins, he's definitely, he's right about to retire. Cunningham with 1,470 yards and 9 touchdowns is really, really good. Not enough touchdowns, though, in my opinion, to probably win best wide receiver, but still probably going to be up there in the conversation, and he is at top 5, which I can't remember. Is Pro Bowl 4 or 5? I really can't remember, honestly. I guess we could probably look right now. I'm pretty sure it shows it right away, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look, see if it actually mentions the Pro Bowl. It does. 3 Pro Bowls. Ooh, 3? He's 30 years old. He's only got 3. That's kind of rough. I mean, by 30, I had 3 Pro Bowls, obviously. Pick 1 overall for this team sees a really good right end and then a quarterback, Ryan Paul, who is hidden dev. Well, excuse me. Did they have an X Factor offensive lineman? The Titans drafted an X Factor. I remember that being a thing, but I haven't seen it in like 2 Maddens now, it feels. I was just going to look at the updated team, and they have an X Factor offensive lineman. Okay. That's interesting. That's definitely interesting, without a doubt. Cunningham's now 91 overall. He is 31 years old. Things are not looking so good. Things are not looking... The regressions there, they thought that he deserves to lose 3 speed, being already only an 84 speed, but hey, sure, whatever you gotta say, man. I actually simmed this to the end of the season, and for some reason I thought I forgot to sim, because, it looked exactly the same, 4-13. I was like, oh, let's skip. I'm like, why are my only options the Super Bowl in the offseason? We just had the same exact season win-loss-wise. That threw me so far off. They started the rookie Ryan Paul. Pretty, decent season for a rookie. Cunningham, 1,300 yards, 11 touchdowns. Not an amazing year, but once again, hitting those kind of milestones that a wide receiver would normally want to hit. And let's take a look at the best wide receiver. We see that he is number 7. So I don't think he's gone a single year in his career with being the best wide receiver, but he's at least put up consistent enough numbers to also put himself into the top 40 rank of like kind of recent players, which is not bad. You put up, the wide receivers ahead of him. There's not really many of the ones we wouldn't expect other than maybe McConkey, who is playing well in real life, in fairness. But, Devontae Smith, who's obviously a good receiver, Tyreek Hill. There's some really good players here. So it kind of, what the hell? But he's having a good year, good career, if you will. Ooh, massive regression here. 32-year-old Cunningham drops multiple overalls again, and his speed is under 80, 79 speed. Oh, man. And I didn't want to actually use him like I did the running back because I know with low speed, he's still going to be good because route running, while speed is still king in the game, route running will still get you open. You will still get plays where you'll break open. But, yeah, it's still not as good as just being purely fast. Drag routes with speed will always just kill. Streaks where, the corner isn't backed off or there's no safety, you're going to burn every time. So, there's just certain things that will always work for speed or route running. But, yeah, there's no point in looking. Whereas the running back, if you're really slow, I don't know if it really matters how jukey you are or how strong your trucking is. Because you just can't get to the damn line, and when you get caught from behind the line, you're kind of screwed. Pick number 2, they go with another edge, or end, I suppose. It's not guaranteed that they're edge, and they get another really good player. So, it's not like they're drafting poorly. It's just, for some reason, this team isn't re-signing players. They've got like a $200 million at all times. I don't know. They are funneling that money towards the front office, without a doubt. Those guys are stealing. And it's all for nothing because Cunningham's actually on the division rival Jaguars now. This is what the new team is looking like. They're actually a pretty good overall as well. What is Gilbert looking like? 79 overall, 31. Okay, I was like, maybe they got a better backup that just needs to start. Nope, that is not true. And then defensively, a bunch of X factors. So I mean, who knows? And at 7-10, they missed the playoffs where the Titans, oh my God, they're even worse now at 2-15. Usually when we, have a person we're following, they leave a team, they always just go off, but not this time. Cunningham, another 1,000 yard with double-digit touchdowns type of season. Could see, success on the top list. Frankenstein at QB for MVP again. And you see that he is at number 6. Always kind of like on the list, but just not winning the best wide receiver. Like, highly doubt he's actually won it once. Very good career, though. Almost 15,000 yards, 133 touchdowns. Let's take a look at what those awards are like real quick. 4 Pro Bowls, but yeah, nothing else, unfortunately. Looking at his receiver numbers, though, like a decade of 1,000 yards a season. Not quite double-digit touchdowns every single season, but obviously if you average those out, even, the year he didn't play for us, he would have had enough to be double-digit every single season, because some of those are really, really good numbers. What's his long in his career? 80? 80 is not bad for somebody that was never higher than 84 speed. But yes, more postseason failures, which is surprising because realistically, there's nothing different between this little series we're doing and the actual best of type of series, because, after the 4th, 5th season, he is really good. He's contributing to each team well. The overalls are high. Just been a little bit of unluckiness, if you will. Wow, these regressions have been brutal, though, which is weird. It feels like him being slower, he's actually getting harsher regressions than the players that are actually, really fast, really good still. That probably should be regressing. 33, don't get me wrong, it is older. I get it. I kind of understand why they're giving him such a harsh treatment, but the speed itself, like, he's lost 3+ speed. This season 4, of course. Every year that he's kind of regressed after, like, 31. 74 regression points in 1 year. For somebody that's already slow as is wild. 79 overall. He might retire at, 34 years old. Could this be the first season that Cunningham, in over like a decade, doesn't have 1,000 yards? I mean, he's his lowest overall he's been in so long. Obviously, every single, year he's regressing, but 79 overall is really low. Could even retire at 34. I mean, I've seen, obviously, wide receivers that are like, 65 overall at, 33, 34, but something's weird. I'm feeling 34 this time. I don't know why. 8-9, still no playoffs. This is like the solo career experience. He still got over 1,000. Not by much, but he did it nonetheless. Also a 70-yard reception on the year. If he didn't have that, obviously he wouldn't have come close to that. But yeah, I mean, his jumping's really terrible, but he's great at everything else. So impressive stuff there. I don't think that he's going to get best wide receiver or even Pro Bowl from that, but I guess while we're here, we'll take a look, as he is surprisingly not even on the top 10. I thought he would have easily been there. Just, touchdowns are pretty good. Yards are fair enough. Guess not. We'll go to the Super Bowl. But like I said, I have a feeling 34. I have a feeling. So, with that being said, I am going to be looking at his career numbers. I want to make sure that we're in there because, that first season doesn't show. So, even if you can count, which some of us can't, you're going to miss out on that first year anyways. So, unless I actually go back and look at the first season stats, I won't be able to count it up anyways. But 15,687, 686 anyways, 145 for touchdowns, a career long of 80, about 5,000 yards after the catch. So, a third of his yards are after the catch as a slow player with, yes, he did have good juke move, but that's about it. I don't know what else I wanted to see here. I wanted to look at his rushing numbers if he had any. 176 yards with a touchdown. Okay. He has a rushing touchdown in his career. That's pretty cool. Let's take a look at his awards if he has any. He has 4 Pro Bowls. Ooh, I thought I was a correct boy, but it apparently appears that I am a liar pants. Not sure why I felt the need to say those two things, but I did. The only problem is Cunningham doesn't have a team. I think he's a free agent currently. Nobody wants Cunningham. There's no way. Hey, the Vikings have someone that's lower than 74 overall. I'm going to allow us to move to the Vikings and pick him up. He is high enough to be the slot for the Vikings. I don't care what anyone says. I'm going to the Vikings. And here's the team. They got 2 really good wide receiver 1 and 2s, but slot receiver, only a 74-3 overall. Cunningham's a 75. So it makes sense that they would sign him. And let's see if this final season has anything left for him could have retired, I suppose, a guy with 1,000 yards in a season for 11 straight years, but at the same time, if he still wants to be in the NFL, I'm going to try to find a team for him, and we did. 8 and 9. Once again, no playoffs, but what are the receiver numbers? Definitely not going to be 1,000, without a doubt. He came closer than I thought, though. 846 with 10 touchdowns. But yeah, that is likely going to be it for him. Where did that legacy score finish, though, is what I wonder. Probably around 20. Yeah, 20,870, which puts him at 24th all-time, or at least all-time recently. Some pretty, good names that he passed up, like Tyreek Hill, who actually has a Super Bowl win. So pretty impressive. Let's take a look at the receiving numbers, which puts him at 16,532. Unfortunately, they don't show you the record book, like, for that person in general. They just, kind of how many years that person's been on there. We got the, Justin Jefferson at 17,007 in real life, having a really good career, so that's pretty good. Cunningham does finish as the Titans' greatest of all time, though, which is awesome. That's pretty cool. There's no other team that he played for long enough to get their top either, but at least he did on the Titans. That's something. Some point in time, you'd probably expect that to be passed up, but for right now, that's pretty cool. And as expected, after 15 years in the NFL, technically 14, that 1 year didn't really count, Brandon Cunningham has retired from the Minnesota Vikings. A really good career, finishing in the top 10, I imagine, all-time yards-wise. And touchdowns probably not too far off either. Let's actually take a look at those touchdowns. I don't think he would have, but, I never really, now that I thought about it, maybe close-ish to 10, not really, but still pretty impressive to, get, 17,000 some yards. Really good career, especially for a guy that, once again, started off as, a 46 overall, I believe? Really, really low overall player, but, yeah, I mean, that was definitely way more successful than the running back one. Going forward with other positions, I think the defenders, especially the pass rushing defenders, I think those guys are really going to look good. So, I don't know if those are the ones we're going to do next. Maybe we just do tight end. I don't know if we're going to bounce back and forth offense, defense or not, or just go straight down the line, quarterback through safety or whatever we're going to do. Once again, some of them not going to be doing fullback, not going to be doing O-line. Kicker, punter, still not going to do it. Didn't do it for the best, definitely not doing it for the worst. And those kind of positions. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this one, though, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, I do appreciate your continued support on the channel. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Second channel, PK Plays for non-Madden content, which we've been doing Indiana Jones lately. So maybe check those out. It's actually a really, really good game. Definitely exceeding my expectations without a doubt. And, yeah, which position do you want to see next? Or if there's a completely different kind of experiment idea you want to see, let me know in the comment section below. But that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully come back for next video. But until next video,